First run today in the VJ Ultra 3. Bit of a delay in starting my testing here. Had an issue with the sizing. Wasn't sure where to go with sizing in this model. Take a look at my last Q&A for some discussion about VJ sizing. Tried 9.5 and it was just way off. Got these in a US 10 now. I'm actually pretty shocked how different they feel on foot. The way those 9.5s felt, I was expecting them to be slightly better, at least feeling somewhat similar, you know, with a little extra space, hoping that would improve things quite a bit. But having these shoes in a 10 now has drastically changed the fit and feel of the shoe. By the way, I was able to swap out for the limited edition green colorway here, and it looks so good. I mean, it looks real nice in comparison to the navy blue one, in my opinion. With these smart wool socks here, if I do say so myself, this is a pretty sweet sock and shoe combo right here. I do still have some concerns about VJ sizing, and maybe not necessarily a sizing, but with the fit, construction, manufacturing, how do I put it? Quality or uniformness. I mean, it just feels so different from the 9.5 to the 10, and I don't really think it should be that way. But I will definitely take a look at this green US 10 in detail and talk specifically what I think about the fit and construction of these shoes on my feet right now. Weather is absolutely rolling in right now. I've got my La Sportiva Ethereal Pro jacket. Having feeling I'm gonna need to use that during this run, maybe a little later. I haven't been able to test it, it's been so dry. This is the first hint of kind of rain in quite a while. So that'll be good testing if it does come down on me here. The midsole here in the Ultra 3 is a new, for the Ultra model line, TPEE foam. SuperFOAMance, as it was in the MAXx2 and the Lightspeed models. I'm not certain if it's the same formulation as those two, but it does have the same name. We do have a rock plate in the mix here within that TPEE midsole. Of course, on top of VJ's signature butyl rubber full coverage outsole. Tops in grip, tops in traction for sure. I am running into a pretty stiff and cold headwind right now. I'm gonna push on a little further and throw on the jacket, really for the cold. Did forget gloves though. That was pretty fun. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna put together this video, if I'm just gonna do first impressions or wait for a second run. I figure I'll just share a few thoughts right away. Especially coming down, that's an ATV trail, pretty steep. It has those like Excite bike rollers there. So I would say that I can kind of feel the rock plate underneath, but I think there's so much foam there. I mean, it remains to be seen if that foam is gonna hold up or break down over time. But as of now, obviously this is the first run. I could feel it a little bit, but it's really blunted by the midsole. It doesn't feel firm. It didn't really feel too hard under my foot. Fit-wise, this is probably the best VJ upper that I've run in for sure. You know, 1 and 2, they kind of had like weird collars. They were stiff. I hacked off one of them at one point. These parts were always a little kind of like rough. This one is just really nice. Like it's been, I think I'm 6 miles in now only, but I have not noticed anything, pinching me here or back here. No lace bite, really. The tongue is, covering enough. It's not short, but it's covering the lace knot, so that's fine. Yeah, I don't really feel any rough spots anywhere. Even the material itself, it seems more pliable. It's definitely thinner than the Lightstrike and the MAXx2. I could see through here. It's clearly breathable, clearly more flexible, not as thick. It's not hot, but this is not gonna be as warm as those two uppers for sure. It is kind of coming down a bit here. I threw on my jacket. I think I got over that ridge, so the cold wind is not hitting me as much right now. So I am gonna try to get back home and not stay out here too long. They feel great so far, my first run. I'm gonna save some thoughts for sure for after some follow-up runs and maybe film, one of my next runs or so. So this is not a full kind of review right now. I will wet test these, but not today. Fit also does feel very secure in these. I'd say it feels more stable than the MAXx2, even though that one's kind of a lower, lighter shoe. I think the wider base on this one gives me a more positive, confident feel, especially as I was going down there. One thing with this VJ foam here, SuperFOAMance, as in the Lightspeed and the MAXx2 models, they definitely packed in for sure. I could feel under the balls of my feet in both of those two shoes. They're just not the same. Highly compressed, especially under the ball of my foot by the big toe. Kind of spots where I do put a lot of pressure, but it just really hasn't held up the foam itself. There's almost like depressions under the ball of my foot. I don't know, I would say I kind of expect that to happen with these. We'll see if it's any better, but given that the fact that the stack is higher, I still like running in the MAXx2. Even with those depressions, it's just like not that same level of dynamic foam that it was, in the early miles running in that shoe. But with this one being higher stacked, perhaps even if they kind of compress in the same way, maybe there'll still be enough where, it'll still feel okay, even with some compression. I mean, the ride, the geometry, everything feels great right now. I'm about I don't know 7 miles in or so. I just got these this weekend. Way more miles to go in these. I'm actually cruising in a flat now. Didn't even realize it. Maybe I'm subconsciously trying to beat the rain. But I am doing 6:29 pace right now. So they feel pretty quick. It's a nice, smooth ride. Do have to say. Way, way, way smoother than both Ultra 1 and Ultra 2. This is almost like a completely different shoe. Okay, so maybe I had a bit of a tailwind assist there because I rounded the bend and wind is hitting me in the face now. Keep an eye out for a follow-up review or discussion on this shoe, maybe I'll wrap it into an A/B comparison or something like that. I knew I was going to run into some weather, so filming would probably be a little tricky. You know, my hands are cold. I can't be out here filming too much. I did want to get some first impressions on the run for sure. A lot of times, first impressions do hold up, or it's at least interesting to see if they hold up or not. The big factor with this shoe for sure is the durability of the midsole. So the first impression may be different than kind of the long run summary with this one. To be determined, to be continued. Maybe that'll be the title. Yeah, I got the wind again. 6:05 right now. Oh, side wind here. Slow me down a little.